Welcome to another Worldbox Battle Royale. This time, continents versus continents. I've got my little suit on, looking like a sports commentator right here. A really terrible sports commentator, but whatever. Because we're definitely going to see a whole lot of destruction on all parts of this map. A lot of naval invasions as well. I think the Atlantic is going to be like a huge battleground. Now, I don't get to choose exactly where these colonists set up their first capital city, but I am kind of curious what we're going to see. I will be taking notes based on where each continent has decided to set up their headquarters. But let's not forget, this is not the entire world map. It is a continents versus continents battle, which means we will have to put a colonist somewhere in this icy, barren wasteland. Oh man, I feel so sorry for this lady. Have fun. And the first place that's been settled is South America. And of course, it is somewhere in the Amazon rainforest, somewhere in Brazil. This one person is going to have to lead this continent into battle. But first, they need to reproduce asexually. We also have North America, which looks like it might have been settled in like the Dakotas or maybe Minnesota, just barely on that United States-Canadian border though. This American lady is already out there chopping down wood, getting things started. We have Europe, which seems to be growing their borders fast all over Germany, France. They got Sweden, Norway, the UK. Really curious to see which empire is going to settle their second city first. And somehow dreams really do come true. Antarctica has settled. They're figuring things out here in this pretty much unsurvivable continent. Okay, this guy might just oof himself because he's going out there. What did he just take out? What the hell was that? Was that a snowman? He's got some stuff to work with this weird peninsula thing going on. I don't know why he's building out here in the icy part though. I'd stay as close to that fire as I can. And as you can see, the world has successfully been mating. Everyone is at either 4 to 5 to even 6 population. North America is actually at 8, so they're going wild over here. I also named this part of the world Oceania, not Australia, because they do represent New Zealand and the non-existent islands in the Pacific. But either way, they've got a tough task ahead of them because they're going to need to somehow find a way off this terrible continent and maybe somehow get to like Indonesia or something. That way from there they can maybe attack Asia. I mean, that's really the only option they got. I think my money might just be on Africa. Look how far north they're going. They're going through the Sahara Desert. They even have parts of Egypt settled. Clearly Europe is gonna need to watch it, although Europe's got some pretty nice farmlands going on, and they've also chosen to make all their people live in Sweden. Maybe it's easier to build the houses up there. They have access to IKEA stores or something. Now Asia has their headquarters, of course, in China, and they've done what China normally does, and that is take over the Korean Peninsula. Historically speaking, Japan likes to do that too though. We'll see if they somehow manage to get all the way over here to Japan. There's like a random wolf that's just stuck on this island, and this one human decided he was gonna try to fight it. Oh, he did good. All right, this is who you're gonna want to lead your military right here. That's a pretty cool thing to do. Take off a wolf all by yourself on the island of Japan. That sounds like the beginning of an anime. Completely forgot that Hawaii was actually included on this map, and its only resident is this random penguin. I think that's a penguin. He can't really leave Hawaii. He tries, but he's always forced to go back. There's actually something really depressing about that, man. You know he wants to be with his brothers in Antarctica, but he can't make it. How did the ocean current send him all the way out over here? What a terrible way to live. Oh, there's actually penguins in Jamaica too, so that sucks for you, man. The first harbor has been built, and of course it's by Oceania. That's perfect because they're gonna really need it. We're gonna start to see these oceans filled with ships soon because that's the only way one person's gonna be able to take over the entire world. The next harbor is probably gonna get built in Europe because for everyone else, they're kind of landlocked, at least mostly. They don't have too many sea tiles. Asia might get something going on too here because they're pretty close to the Pacific as well. We finally have the first continent with their second settlement, and it is Mexico. North America has settled Mexico. They might be thinking about building a Panama Canal soon. As soon as they eliminate this penguin infestation, these things are everywhere in the Caribbean. I mean, where else would you expect penguins to be but the Caribbean? You know, South America is definitely feeling the pressure there. They better watch it. Now, Oceania does have a couple ships they're sending out. They might start to explore the world. I don't think they know exactly what is going on. They don't know the doom that awaits them just yet. You definitely don't want to go south. You're not going to find anything there. Well, except for whatever the hell they got going on down over here. Now, to be honest, they're not doing too bad. I mean, they're definitely not going to win this. I mean, they just can't do as much as the others, but hey, I'm rooting for you. North America is really choosing to build most of their village actually in Canada in the snow. Maybe they wanted a nice vacation spot for this summer, so that's why they settled Mexico. Asia also has their second city, and it is in Russia. Not where most people live in Russia. This is like the Siberian area, or at least close enough. Now, with Russia on their side, you know it's gonna be hard to invade these guys. There's also the city of Angola, already with 9 population, and Africa's sending things around the Cape of Good Hope. So they actually might be, that's a massive ship too, man, this is beautiful. They might be beginning to threaten the Atlantic Ocean first, since nobody else even has a harbor built yet. Now, is Africa making a power play to control the Strait of Gibraltar? It looks like it. I believe they could pass through to the Mediterranean. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, wait a second, is there a war going on? Are they dropping off troops? I think some Europeans went down to Spain to scare them off. Now the African ship is exploring the North Pole, moving up around Canada. Don't know why that would be. Maybe they're gonna go visit this penguin in Hawaii, which it's still there, by the way. It literally cannot escape. This is like the saddest part of this whole thing. I don't care how many people die. All I care about is this penguin, to be honest. Roads being built all throughout the Amazon, as well as houses. They do need to probably get some ships going on soon, though. Oceania might be going with a strategy of just building tall. Not a whole lot of cities, but just having one massive one with a bunch of population. Oh, they're out here fishing. Also, they've got their big exploration ship going now. They're gonna find some places. And as I say that, they failed to leave even the coast of Australia. Of course, Europe would be the first continent to settle a city that is not within their own home continent. It's Turkey. They already out here imperializing the Middle East. What else is new? Now, instead of South America going towards Mexico, they've actually decided to settle Argentina, which is probably a good idea. You don't want to get North America too upset this early, especially because they're looking massive over here. Look at this scary barbarian village. They look like a tribe of just a bunch of scary meatheads right here living out in Montana. Figures. I just now realized it is totally possible for Antarctica to win here if no one discovers them. If everyone else just takes each other out, it'd be like a post-apocalyptic scenario playing out here in the world map, and they're just chilling, having a great time, making me regret what I said in the very beginning. Maybe there is a little bit of a benefit and advantage to be settling in some barren place. Also, kind of completely ignored the fact that North America has completely wiped out Africa. This is all North American territory. I don't know how they did it. I didn't even see the invasion happening. How did that happen when Africa was the one that had boats? I mean, you don't need boats. You can just send your people across the ocean. I know that's realistic, almost too realistic, but it is possible in this game. Hundreds of thousands of military members just casually walking through the ocean. South America has 1 harbor built, and that does look like a pretty epic harbor. They're gonna need it because they're gonna get surrounded. Now, if you're rooting for Africa or another continent that gets taken out in the future, don't lose hope, because this game is pretty brutal when it comes to like revolutions and places getting their independence. I actually would not be surprised at all if Angola decides, hey, you know what, we're just gonna do our own thing, not under North American control or African control. Bunch of ships being sent from Brazil / South America to Oceania, I think. Or maybe these were Oceania ships, I don't know. Very nice. It is Kazakhstan, just settled by Asia. Oh, the US does have a ship, and it's actually built in Mexico, because of course it is. They can't really build a harbor over here. Oh yeah, they can. In the Hudson Bay. Is this the Hudson? Whoops, my bad. I forgot they had access to that. So maybe they had those, and that's how they destroyed Africa. I might not have been paying attention. We even have North America in India now, cutting off both Europe and Asia. I'm sure they both kind of wanted this. This is gonna start to be a pretty massive problem. If these guys don't form an alliance or a coalition, I don't know if they're gonna get stopped. I'm actually surprised that they've kept a hold of these cities for so long. Like, how has no one revolted? Or you know what? Angola might have tried, but then they got slaughtered in the effort. Sometimes they try, and then like a big old military comes down and says, you really want to do this? As they beat people in the head with a bat. Looking around the relation map mode, the only person that's actually at war, oh, India got their independence, didn't they? Also, Oceania is involved in the coalition, so yeah, the world is, well, at least the Eastern Hemisphere is sick of North America's shit. So there's finally the first successful revolution. India went independent, but decided to join Asia instead. Or actually, Asia might have just taken over India completely. There might not have been a revolution at all. And now even Africa is back, and now they are attacking North American-controlled Angola. Angola is down to 13 population, looking like a bunch of elves shooting arrows back and forth at each other. Boom, someone's getting slaughtered right now. Africa is not happy about being imperialized for so long. They're gonna burn buildings down. Angola is gonna fall. Problem is, Africa doesn't have too much population either. They've got 51. It doesn't matter. They regained their former city, and now they're back in the game. So that coalition really worked out. I mean, it just started with Asia and Oceania, but then they freed Africa. Africa helped out a lot. There's actually still some ships trying to invade. They're trying to do a D-Day invasion of this whole continent. D-Day invasion of Africa. I've never thought about that. Looks like North America isn't too ahead in population still. I mean, they're at 85. It's still looking pretty good. But Oceania is actually catching up at 68. They're in second place. I just don't know where else they're gonna build. I mean, this whole continent's just gonna be filled with people like waddling back and forth. Then again, this world is quite used to the waddling back and forth, especially the Caribbean. Wait, no. Where did our... Wait. No, no. Where did our Hawaiian penguin go? Is he gone? I can't find him anymore. Guys, I think we lost him. Oh my God, what a horribly sad day. I didn't think he would just get oofed like that. Did one of these boats just like do a drive-by on him? I don't see how a penguin could just vanish from Hawaii. He had nowhere else to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend like the glass is half full and say he somehow made it back to his homeland in Antarctica. He's chilling with his homies down here somewhere. That's very unlikely, and even if it did happen, he probably would have gotten slaughtered by this tribe. Asia's now looking pretty good with China, Russia, Kazakhstan, and India. They've got the most cities. Now, they don't have one big city, but look at this. Russia's almost at 50 population as well. Just a lot of people mating up here. Mexico, on the other hand, for North America, it's only at 27. I mean, their main capital is almost at 100, but there's not too much going on down here. So many Christmas miracles happening in this video. Somehow, Oceania actually left their home continent. It's so rare in these games for the AI to be able to leave this part of the map just because there's not a whole lot going on over here. I don't know. Computers get confused about the islands. They don't like to settle. It looks like this was just barely big enough where they decided, yeah, we could go ahead and slap a village up here. So that gives me hope. I don't know where else they can go after this. Maybe the Philippines, maybe Vietnam. Start to give Asia a little bit of pressure. I'm still not 100% sure anyone's discovered Antarctica, although Antarctica is kind of falling in population. I don't know if they're starting to eat each other down here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually have to resort to that. A lot of the world is still at war with North America, except for Oceania. They've decided to peace out, and every other place is at peace. That's the only conflict in the world. So if we paid attention to the Atlantic, there's probably a lot of things going on over here. A lot of little naval battles that I might be missing. I'm sorry. Yeah, there are arrows definitely flying, like, because this guy's not supposed to be here. Okay, I don't know why you would go so intentionally close to the coastline like that. You know that's a hostile continent, but you're just gonna go ahead and fly by in their face anyways. Oh, these guys are going to Oceania, so they might be trying to check things out. There's a little bit of trading going on, I see, between these two. Though Africa failed to exist for a couple years there, they're already almost the only place that has 100 population. North America has 100 population, but they're about to get there too. That is, unless like a bunch of drive-bys happen and they slowly start losing people, which is kind of what the Americans are doing right now. I mean, they're just sending a bunch of ships, going by, shooting their arrows, and then getting out of there. Here it goes again. They're just gonna casually roll on by. Oh, they actually took that one out. Unless... Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, these waters are just being filled with ships. Whole lot of naval things happening right now. Love watching these guys farm down here. Gotta make sure you have enough food to feed all the mouths. And these guys aren't even having to feed the most mouths. I mean, Asia's really just passing up everyone in terms of population. Art imitating life, I guess. Of course, this would be the continent that has a bunch of people in it. Ooh, Turkey with the weird, like, border cut off like that. They just now expanded their borders. You better hope that there's not some sort of conflict that happens. I'm pretty sure this city's gonna get ripped up. And I don't think Europe could really defend it. They are finally in Spain now, though. Still got to get Italy, but they might start to dip into Morocco soon. I am watching as this African country slowly went from 50 population to now like almost 37. There are invaders, and this guy, oh, damn. Okay, maybe the reinforcements hadn't arrived yet. They clearly did now, though. Speaking of losing population, they have now eaten at least like 8 bodies down here. Went from 20 pop to 12. They've probably ran out of food, to be honest. There's not really much to work with. I'm just glad they've made it this long, to be honest. And there it goes. Asia has gone to war with Europe, and instantly Europe has collapsed. That wasn't even fair. That was like the quickest takeover of an entire civ that I've ever seen. Now, will they keep this? I think there's a better chance, because North America was trying to keep all of Africa so far away from them. There's a much better chance that Asia keeps Europe, because it's right there. They'll probably slap a city somewhere in like Western Russia. It's bothering me, all this unclaimed territory. World population is currently at 1,000, but also 1,000 people have died. You got like a 50-50 chance of survival in this world. There's a lot of movement going on within Africa, and oh, wait a second. Are they attacking? They are moving through Egypt and just rushing dudes in, but you know, they might not be attacking Asia specifically. What is going on? Was there war? No, there has to be. There's literally trees falling down, but maybe they were, I don't know, borrowing some of their wood for some reason. No, they're currently peaceful. I guess they were just sending in a bunch of troops for, I don't know why they were doing that. There is a war between North America and Asia going on. I don't know if they're going to be able to get there. Asia's pretty powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. They've even begun to make it to Japan. They have the anime. This world is pretty much locked down. They're definitely going to control it now, whether through military or just culturally speaking. I mean, I can already hear the weebs screaming in the US. There are so many boats out here. Like, I don't I don't know if you really need all these boats, guys, but okay. Actually, yeah, if you're in the West, you probably do want a lot of boats. That's like the only thing that's going to be able to stop the Asian invasion. They're going to want to reverse card that and do the Caucasian invasion. Hey, what the f is a penguin back? He's alive! It's a miracle. Where did you go, buddy? Were you just taking like a swim? Maybe he was just like drowning himself for a little bit because he's so sick of living on these islands. But even that was a failure. His whole life is a failure. I'm just so glad he's around. Maybe that's his son. I don't know. Maybe they like... someone laid an egg and then he just oofed himself in the ocean. The egg is now hatched. It's like a family tradition to be stuck on this island. Who knows? There you go, Europe. You're back. Although you're losing like a lot of people. Like a lot of people. Okay, you're at 50. You just gotta stop. You gotta make sure you have enough arrows. They're gonna try to burn everything down. Okay, is that a whole... That's a whole Asian division right there coming in. Don't let them take out your well. You just gotta survive this, really. Uh-oh. They're down to 30. Boom! Turkey's fallen back to European control as well. So that's 20 extra population too. You can maybe begin... Dang, India's at 50. Look, okay, well this is gonna slow down Asia at the very least. I am not sure if the Europeans are gonna be able to keep both these cities. Maybe just one, at least stay around in the game. And the war for the Western Hemisphere has begun. South America versus North America. And of course, the battleground is actually in Mexico. Damn, Mexico's getting messed up right now. Mexico just had a whole town burned down. Now these houses are gonna go. This ship stands no chance. And as Mexico loses population, they also lose control over territory. The bigger the city gets, the more land they control. There's 100 Americans that are just chilling though in the States, and they're about to bring in reinforcements very soon. Oh, Turkey has fallen, and so has Europe. It was a nice last stand at the very least. I mean, they got their independence for a little bit, and actually it did slow down Asia either way. So we'll see if like Africa can capitalize. Although Africa seems to be on pretty good terms with Asia. Like there's open borders. They're like sending troops on in. It's pretty normal. Mexico has fallen. South America was at least successful in burning down Mexico, but wait a second. Is that Oceania's pink? That is Oceania's pink. I don't know how they got this. Oh, and Argentina fell to North America. So at least South America got one okay thing happened to them. I mean, they were successful in taking Mexico. At least that's something before they got oofed. There you go. Europe was taken over by Africa. Turkey's been burned down. Oh my God, this is World War I, I think, because I don't think we've had one yet. There's been like small battles. How is Africa rolling over right now? All these places. Like what the hell is even going on right now? So Africa and Asia are at war. How did they do this so perfectly like that? Oceania and North America are at peace. So really it's just a huge battle happening here, and I think my prediction has come true. There really is a post-apocalypse world playing out in the continents. Oceania, of all people, now have Africa, all of South America, and a lot of Asia. Russia's barely around. This is one person, this is two people. It is literally right now between just Oceania and North America, because everything's been burnt to the ground. North America has 100 and almost 30 population. There's clearly a pretty massive war happening, and the battleground is in the ruins of Mexico. The ruins of Mexico is where this world will be won or lost. Also seems like penguin population control has been enabled in the Caribbean. Maybe the North Americans were a little distracted. They were so focused on all these penguins everywhere that they were not expecting the Australians to attack. No one expects the Australian Inquisition. Well, they did just win over South Americans, Brazil, but look at all these. I don't even know. Are these Australians? That's just a lot of them. This is like a gang war happening. Someone's about to get jumped. North America has regained the Western Hemisphere, but it's not looking good. They're barely holding on to this. This stuff's easily gonna get burned to the ground. Big old kingdom, beautiful castle, things like that. It's only being held up by 15 population. How are they gonna keep that up? There really is a chance that Antarctica wins this because they're chilling. I mean, they haven't eaten everybody yet. They've eaten most people. It's down to 5. Who are you gonna eat next? Because they really have run out of food. I don't think they have anything. You can't eat cherries all day long. The Americans really have time to rebuild though, because there's this massive DMZ zone, a demilitarized zone, between Africa all the way up to Europe. That is keeping all these people in the east a little separated, so it's not easy. It's not an easy trek to make, especially because this world is accurately a flat Earth. You can't just go around the Earth, let's be real. And this Pacific Empire has over 3 settlements with over 150 pops, almost 150 population in 3 different areas. Papua New Guinea doesn't really have much to work with, so, you know, can you really blame them? America has a lot of catching up to do. There's also a war being waged in the Caribbean. We're gonna call this the Penguin War, because what else? What is that, the Fountain of Youth? They just built the Fountain of Youth, because that would help them. Or not. Or not. I guess that didn't help them. North America has fallen. There is just one last bastion for North Americans, and it is South America. And there it is. The world has been conquered. Oceania is the ruler. I would have never in a million years put my money on some Australian nation. They never do well in these games. I've never seen an AI game where Australia takes over the world, but there's a first for everything. But did they really? how do we know Antarctica isn't technically the puppet master down here? They've actually been orchestrating all the wars. These are like the most powerful people. This is like the Illuminati, basically. It makes sense. If there were people that ruled the world, why not put them down in Antarctica where like literally no one else is gonna go? And on their free time, these powerful people just like to eat each other. And big thanks to the patrons of May. Drew's Argentinian grandpa. I'm about a nut. Luxembourg lover. Poppy DruuuWu. I love Drew Darnell. Aryan After Hours. Stormtrooper 501. Zeffy. Patrick C. Manny 74. Kaylee K. M203 Brusham. Ian L. Fusion Anthony G. Sen Nick. Epi Nick. Elijah Senpai. Dalton D. Call of Tortoise. Aaron F. And Aaron F. 2.